Hello everybody, welcome to a new lesson on الأونروا channel. I hope you will get benefit and enjoy your time with us. Today we are going to discuss conditional sentences. Zero conditional, first conditional and second conditional. سنناقش اليوم الجمل الشرطية. Let's look at this. What happens if we mix red and yellow? If we mix red and yellow, we get orange. Is there another possible answer? هل هناك احتمال آخر? Can we get another color? Green maybe? No. We get orange every time we mix the red and yellow. نحصل على اللون البرتقالي في كل مرة نخلط فيها اللونين الأحمر والأصفر. هذه حقيقة. Now, let's look at this. What happens if you throw a ball in the air? If you throw a ball in the air, it falls down because of the Earth's gravity. This is a fact, a scientific fact. Now look at this. What happens if water gets too cold? Yes, good. If water gets too cold, it freezes or it becomes ice. This statement is 100% true because it's a fact. هذه الجملة صحيحة دائما لأنها حقيقة. Now let's look at the three sentences again. If we mix red and yellow, we get orange. If we throw a ball in the air, it falls down. If water gets too cold, it freezes. These three conditional sentences express facts which are always true. So, we call them zero conditional sentences. هذه الجمل الثلاث تعبر عن حقائق صحيحة دائما، لذلك نسميها جمل شرطية صفرية أو جمل شرطية من النوع صفر. Now let's look at this conditional sentence more closely. If we mix red and yellow, we get orange. As you see, the sentence has two parts. If we mix red and yellow, this is the first part and we call it condition, the part that has if. What happens if we mix red and yellow? We get orange. This is the result. جملة الشرط، جواب الشرط. Let's have another example. If we throw a ball in the air, it falls down. This is another conditional sentence type 0. If we throw a ball in the air, this is the first part, we call it the condition. What happens if we throw a ball in the air? It falls down. This is the result. إذن لدينا جملة الشرط ولدينا أيضا جواب الشرط. Now, look at the two sentences and try to compare them. What do you notice? The two parts of the conditional sentence can change places and the meaning does not change. Look, we can say if we mix red and yellow we get orange, and we can also say we get orange if we mix red and yellow. Both are correct, but not the use of the comma. In writing, we use the comma only when we begin with F. When we don't begin with F, we don't need the comma as the second sentence. Now, let's look at the form of the conditional sentence. This is a conditional sentence type 0. What does it begin with? Good, it begins with F. What about the verb mix? What tense is it? Yes, good. This is present simple tense. What about the other verb, get? What tense is it? It's present simple tense too. So we have present simple tense in the condition and we also have present simple tense in the result. لدينا فعل الشرط مضارع بسيط وجواب الشرط أيضا مضارع بسيط. Let's have another example. If we throw a ball in the air, it falls down. The sentence also begins with F. Look at the verb throw. What tense is it? Yes, it is present simple tense. What about the other verb, falls? What tense is it? It is present simple tense too. So again, we have present simple tense in the condition and we have present simple tense in the result. فعل الشرط مضارع بسيط وجواب الشرط أيضا مضارع بسيط. Now look, in zero conditional sentences, if can be replaced by when. So we can also say when water gets too cold, it freezes. And we can also say when we mix red and yellow, we get orange. Now let's review what we have learned so far. لنراجع ما تعلمناه. We use if, present simple tense, and present simple tense for facts and statements that are always true. نستخدم if أو when مضارع بسيط ومضارع بسيط للتعبير عن حقائق صحيحة دائما. ونسمي هذا النوع من الجمل الشرطية الصفرية. Now it's time to practice. Put the verbs in the correct tense. If we boil water, it becomes steam. عندما نغلي الماء يتبخر. This is a fact. Or this statement is always true, a scientific fact. So this is a zero conditional sentence. جملة شرطية صفرية. So we have present simple tense in the condition and we also have present simple tense in the result. So the verb becomes. It is singular, so we need the third singular S. Let's have another example. When plant life taking carbon dioxide, they give out oxygen. Can you correct the verb taken? Good, taken, because this sentence also a zero conditional sentence. And this verb should be present simple tense. Plant life is singular, so it needs the third singular S. We have other types of conditional sentences, but after the break, stay with us. Welcome back. Now look at this picture. What will you do if it rains tomorrow? This question has many possible answers. For me, if it rains tomorrow, I will stay at home. Staying at home is possible, or it's probable. It may happen, could happen. We have other possible answers too. Look at this. If it rains tomorrow, I will wear my coat. Wearing my coat is possible too. It may happen. And we have other possible results for the same condition too. Look at this. If it rains tomorrow, I will take my umbrella. This is possible too. So, as you notice, there are different possible results for the same condition. هناك عدة احتمالات عند حدوث نفس الشرط. Look at this. If you go to London, you will see Big Ben. Most people who go to London see Big Ben. It's famous. But it is not 100% true. You may go to London and still not see Big Ben. We can also say you will see Big Ben if you go to London. Notice the two parts of the conditional sentence can change places and the meaning does not change. Look at this. If you don't hurry, you will miss the bus. Missing the bus is a possibility if you don't hurry. We can also say, you will miss the bus if you don't hurry. This is another conditional sentence type 1. Now let's look at the form. What does the sentence begin with? It begins with if. Good. Look at the verb rain. What tense is it? Good. It's present simple tense. What about the other verb? The verb in the result will take. Good. This is future simple. Will plus infinitive. So we have present simple tense in the condition and we have future simple or will plus infinitive in the result. فعل الشرط مضارع بسيط، جواب الشرط مستقبل بسيط أو will زائد مصدر. Now, let's have another example. If we don't hurry, we'll miss the bus. Look at the verb, don't hurry. What tense is it? This is present simple tense in the negative form. What about the other verb? This is future simple. Yes. So again, we have present simple tense in the condition and we have future simple in the result. فعل الشرط مضارع بسيط وجواب الشرط مستقبل بسيط أو will زائد مصدر. Now, look at this. If it rains, I will stay at home. Sometimes, especially when we speak, we use contraction or short form. So, we can say, if it rains, I'll stay at home. We can say, if you don't hurry, we'll miss the bus. Now, let's review what we have learned so far. Conditionals type 1. We use if and not when, if, present simple, will, future, to express something that may happen in the future. Now, it's time to practice. We are going to read a paragraph and we are going to try to find conditional sentences type 1. Let's start. Farmers are cutting and burning trees in rainforests to create land for crops. This is a problem. First, rising CO2 levels are causing global warming. If we don't control them, temperatures will soon rise even faster. Land ice will melt, the sea will rise, and this will flood cities like Alexandria and Tokyo. Have you found conditional sentences type 1? Let's see them together. If we don't control them, if we don't control global warming, what will happen? Temperatures will soon rise. Land ice will melt. The sea will rise. And this will flood cities. These are possible results if we don't control global warming. Let's move to another activity. We are going to correct the underlined verb. If we don't protect rainforests, they disappear. Disappear is incorrect. Can you correct it? Good. The answer is will disappear because this is a conditional sentence type 1. We have present simple tense in the condition and we should have future simple in the result. جواب الشرط مستقبل بسيط will زائد مصدر. Let's have another one. If the weather was fine, I will go on a picnic. Can you correct the verb was? Yes, the answer is because this is a conditional sentence type 1 جملة شرطية من النوع الأول وحسب ما تعلمنا فعل الشرط مضارع بسيط جواب الشرط will زائد مصدر. Was is incorrect, the correct answer is. Now, we have another type of conditional sentences, but after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Imagine that you found $1 million. What would you do? Would you buy a house? Or would you go around the world? Or would you buy an expensive car? Look at the next picture. This man says, if I had $1 million, I would buy a house. Do you think this man is rich? No. Does he have a lot of money? I don't think so. Can he buy this house? No. So this is just a dream or imagination. It's unreal. مجرد حلم أو خيال. We can also say, I'd buy a house if I had $1 million. Now, notice the use of the contraction. Instead of saying, I would, I can also say, I'd buy a house. And compare the two sentences and notice that the two parts of the conditional sentence can change places. So we can say, if I had $1 million, I would buy a house, and I can also say, I'd buy a house if I had $1 million. Look at this. She says, if I were a bird, I would fly. Is she a bird? Can she ever be a bird? No. Can she fly? No. So this is just a dream or imagination. مجرد حلم أو خيال. She can also say, I'd fly if I were a bird. Note again the use of the contraction. Instead of saying I would, I can say I'd fly if I were a bird. Now look at this. Sammy and Lena were going home from school. Sammy saw some strange objects and he wanted to take them home. Now Lena says, you mustn't touch them. If I were you, I would call the police. If I were you. Is she Sammy? Can she ever be Sammy? No, she's Lena. And she's saying that to advise her brother. Now let's look at the form of conditional sentences type 2. If I had $1 million, I would buy a house. What does the sentence begin with? It begins with if. Look at the verb had. What tense is it? Yes, it is past simple tense. What about the other verb, would buy? This is would plus infinitive. So we have past simple tense in the condition. We have would plus infinitive in the result. فعل الشرط ماضي بسيط. جواب الشرط would زائد مصدر. Let's move to another example. If I were a bird, I would fly. What does the sentence begin with? It begins with if. If and not when. When here is incorrect. Look at the verb were. What tense is were? It is past simple. It is the past of verb to be. What about the other one, the other verb? Would fly. This is would plus infinitive. فعل الشرط ماضي بسيط وجواب الشرط would زائد مصدر. But note the use of were. In this type of conditional sentences that talk about unreal things, we use were for all subject pronouns. We can't say if I was a bird. Now, let's review what we have learned so far. لنراجع ما تعلمناه. Conditional sentences type 2. We use if, past simple, would plus infinitive to express something unreal or imaginary. نستخدم if ماضي بسيط would زائد مصدر للتعبير عن أحداث خيالية. Now, let's revise all the types of the conditional sentences. We have learned 3 types of conditional sentences: zero conditionals, type 1 conditional, and type 2 conditional. We use zero conditional sentences for facts that are always true. Type 1 conditional sentences, we use them for possible results. And type 2 conditional sentences, we use them for unreal or imaginary things and sometimes for giving advice. Now let's revise all the forms of the conditional sentences. In zero conditional sentences, we use if or when, present simple and present simple. if أو when فعل الشرط مضارع بسيط، جواب الشرط أيضا مضارع بسيط. In type 1 conditional sentences, we use if, only if, present simple, future simple, or will plus infinitive. فعل الشرط مضارع بسيط، جواب الشرط مستقبل بسيط، will زائد مصدر. For the last type of conditional sentences, type 2, we use if, only if, past simple, would plus infinitive. فعل الشرط ماضي، جواب الشرط would زائد مصدر. Now it's time to practice. We are going to finish this mini dialogue. The teacher is speaking to Reem. What happens when you drop a stone in water? Can you guess the answer? ماذا يحدث إذا أسقطت حجراً في الماء? Yes, good. It sinks. This is a zero conditional sentence because it is a fact. It is 100% true. Let's move to another example. Ali is talking to Sami. What would you do if you became rich and famous? Can you guess the answer? And note, here we have many possible correct answers. I'd build a hospital. And note, this is a second conditional sentence because this is unreal or a dream or an imagination. فعل الشرط ماضي، جواب الشرط would زائد مصدر. And this is a contraction. Now we are going to choose the correct verb. Look at number 1. When winter comes, temperatures fall, will fall. Can you answer it? Good. The answer is fall. Why? This is a fact. This is a zero conditional sentence. We have present simple tense in the condition. We should have also present simple tense in the result. So this is the correct answer. Fall, present simple tense. Let's move to the next one. Okay. If you work hard, you will pass passed the test. Remember, this is type 1 conditional sentence because the result is possible if the condition happens. So, فعل الشرط مضارع بسيط، جواب الشرط مستقبل بسيط. So, what is the correct answer? Good, will pass. Let's move to the next one. If I found a treasure, I give, will give, would give you half of it. This is an imagination. So what is the correct answer? Would give. This is a second conditional sentence. The verb in the past in the condition, and this should be would plus infinitive. Good. And the next one. If we heat ice, it melts, will melt. عندما يسخن الجليد يذوب. This is a fact, 100% true. So this is a zero conditional sentence. The verb here, heat, is present simple tense. And what is the correct answer? Yes, God melts, present simple tense. It is singular, so we need the third singular S. Good. And the last one, number 5. If I were you, I go, will go, would go to the dentist. This is an advice. Second conditional sentence. We have past simple tense in the condition, and we should have would plus infinitive in the result. So what is the correct answer? Good. Would go. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed our lesson. Thanks for watching and goodbye.